Hey, it's 2:30 in the morning and here I am blogging. Hmm. This is what insomnia does to you. It makes you tired, but you just can't fall asleep. Um, I have this thing, I have a little tablet that I put in my bed with me at night. I don't have a television in my room or anything like that. And I'll sit with my tablet and I'll watch reruns of the old Voyager series, the Star Trek Voyager. With I don't remember the actress's name that played the captain, but her name on the show was Janeway. This was out of all the Star Treks, I think Voyager was probably the most interesting because it had that strong female character, in the show, which was highly unusual for Star Trek. So she was pretty awesome, and so I watch reruns of that. That helps me fall asleep a lot of times. Not all the time. Tonight is an exception. Voyager just didn't do it for me. And sometimes I watch comedy shows. I get into a lot of the millennial comedies, millennial comedians. I guess because I'm kind of used to being around the millennial group, and I'm an insomniac. That's all there is to it. I just can't sleep at night most of the time, so I kind of just roam around, and a lot of times because I'm not well, I have some illnesses, and so sometimes that affects my ability to sleep at night. But you know what? I sort of have a self imposed isolation, and I'm okay with that because I had a lot of freedom as a child. I mean, there's a lot of things I enjoyed, like I said in my first vlog. There's a lot of things I want to do, a lot of places I want to go, and I want to do those things. And to have to get that timing right so that I can get out of this place and go do something completely different. And it can be interesting to be in a situation that I'm currently in, which is I go to school full time, I take my classes online, and I pretty much stay here. I pretty much don't go do much at all. Um, it's just the way that it is. And but and it's not because anybody's making me do it, or it's not so much because of I'm sick that I'm here. It's it's like a respite. Maybe it's this is time that I need. Sometimes I think I'm just cursed, because whatever can go wrong goes wrong. But that's okay too because we all come out at the other side of whatever problems that we have. And so I always look forward to the light at the end of the proverbial tunnel. And anyway, so I had a pretty unique childhood. I lived in a lot of different places, and I've done a lot of different things. I had a lot of freedom very young, and I took this doctoral program because one of my goals in life was to have this doctorate. Um, it was a necessity. It was something I had to do. I remember one time we moved to Florida, and then we had decided to go back to Georgia. This is when I was young. I was like 11, and I had this one teacher in Florida that I really, really liked. And so I went to the school and I was going to just say goodbye to the teacher. So I go to class to say goodbye. And there was another teacher in there with her. And I went out, so I walked out as I was leaving, and my shoe was untied. So I bent down to tie my shoe. And I heard the other teacher say, "She is a prime candidate for the state prison." And I'm like, ah, how could this person say this about me? I'm 11 years old, right? I'm a prime candidate for the state prison. I've never committed a crime in my life, you know. Um, well, there was one exception. I won't talk about that. But it was a very petty crime. It was a long, 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 long time ago. I think I stole some gum, maybe. I don't know. But no, please don't call the police on me for stealing gum when I was 8. I mean, it just that shit happens. But I'm not that kind of person. But I did meet a guy one time who went to jail for 5 years for robbing a Wendy's, and he only got $25. I don't remember where I met this person, but I remember talking to him and saying, "You went to jail for 5 years for robbing a Wendy's for $25? Man, that's rough. That was a tough judge." But apparently the guy had a gun even though it was probably, from what I understood from the conversation, it was a fake gun. Um, so, but anyway, robbed Wendy's at $25 and went to jail for 5 years. I, don't think I could do that. Although I have made jokes about, when I'm 99, to go rob a bank when it won't matter anymore whether they put me in jail or not. Nah, I'm not suggesting that anyone do anything like that. I joke around about it sometimes. But I don't know. It's just life is strange and people are strange, and we live in a crazy world. We live in crazy times. I mean, look at the stuff that's going on around us. We have a lunatic president, um, and people love him for some weird reason. I mean, if they would really look at what the man is doing, I don't think they'd be in love as much as they think they are. And I'm not talking about fake news or what's on CNN or any of that kind of stuff. I mean, it's just look at what the man is doing. He wants, it's. Well, let me give you an example of some of the backlash from his behavior. There were these two women, Hispanic women, who were in Montana. I read this in the news yesterday. Two women, they were in Montana, and they're visiting, or either they lived there. I'm not sure what the circumstances were, but whatever. They went into, this is near the Canadian border, and they went into a convenience store, and while they were waiting in line, they were speaking Spanish. And so a border patrol officer happened to be in the line, and he made them produce identification, not because they were doing anything odd, but because they were speaking Spanish. Now, okay, a lot of people in this country speak Spanish. People from all over, people from Puerto Rico who are Americans, more or less, speak Spanish. And so this is just crazy, these things that are happening. And you've got all these shootings going on in schools, and, but yet, what was this crazy stuff I heard the other day? One congressman or something said that um, the reason these shootings happen is because it's what God wants. Okay, that's a little strange. Um, it's just in putting more guns in schools to keep people from going and shooting people in schools. Okay, what if you've got a crazy teacher who goes postal and decides he's going to kill a student? Or a student acts up in class, so he pisses the teacher off, and so he pulls out his 45 and does a little whippy whip whippy, pow. I mean, wow, what kind of crazy mess is this? So I don't know. I just think we live in a crazy world, and I don't. I wish there was something I could do to make it better. Maybe you can think of something. If you can think of something to make it better, then write it down there in the comments. Maybe we can get together and work it all out, fix the world. Without killing anybody. And but I really wish you guys would subscribe to my vlog here. I'm hoping to get 100 subscribers. That's kind of my goal right now. Is if anybody actually likes listening to me babble on and on and on and on. But I'm gonna actually do some different stuff. From next time we go to the cemetery, I'm gonna make a video of doing our EVPs and our spirit box and all that kind of stuff. So I'm looking forward to doing that. And also over at this house that is owned by some of my family that is haunted. We've actually got EVPs there, so we're going to go and hang out there sometime too. And but I hate being up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and when I walk away from this video, I'll go in the kitchen and make a pot of coffee. And I'll sit there and I'll read my book. See, this is my book. This is my book for my linguistics class. It's called Second Language Learning Theories, and it's all about language acquisition, and goes a little bit into Chomsky and Kashkin. Is his name Kashkin? It's actually, I had not really known that much about him. He's kind of a little different. His name's Stephen Krashen. I listened to one of his videos on his theories of second language acquisition, and this guy's really funny. You go to, if you're an academic at all, or if you've been to college, you go to lectures and symposiums and crap like this, and you get bored. I mean, I've sat in theaters and listened to lectures and went, out. And this guy cracked me up. So if you go on YouTube and look him up, if have any interest in language at all, Stephen Krashen, Krashen, and watch a couple of his more recent videos where he's teaching. And this guy's awesome. He's just cracks me up, and he talks about some stuff, his theories that are really really interesting. So if you get that opportunity, you should take that. You should do that. Just check him out. And also, if you get an opportunity, go and check out my Twitter. You can access it, the links below from here on my blog, my channel, which is the old lady cat blog. Yes, old cat lady, old cat lady blog. I'm not sure, it's one of those anyway. But if you're here, you know what it is. And you can actually link to my website. You can link to my Twitter. I'd love for you to follow me on Twitter and go to my website and register there. And you can make comments. And you can see I actually have a little bit more on there than what you're going to find here. I put up like stories and things like that. And you can also visit Twitter and Facebook, and I'm actually going to set up an Instagram here pretty quick. I haven't gotten around to that. And but I'm debating on, what do y'all think about Facebook? I mean, I'm kind of burned out on Facebook, and especially with all the stuff that's been happening, with all the data loss and people stealing data and using Facebook for the Russians using Facebook or for whatever. And I'm wondering, one of my children deactivated their page. And I'm wondering, should I just get rid of Facebook? What do y'all think? I'd like your opinion. I mean, if you could put that in the comments, whatever you want to say. I'm thinking Facebook kind of sucks now. It's because you're always having to worry about if you've got everything secure, do they change their policy? And when they change their policy, did it change your settings? I mean, if you got to constantly check your settings and worry. And I've had a couple of stalkers on there. And so I worry a little bit about that. I actually had to contact Facebook about one person who kept sending me messages and wanting me to connect with them, and I don't know this person. And so finally, they finally blocked this person to keep him from sending me messages, and that took some time, And that was about, I don't know, 3 years ago, and it was kind of scary. That was kind of scary. And so, I'm thinking, should I get rid of Facebook altogether? I kind of like just having Instagram and Twitter and my blogging channel. It makes me more comfortable, maybe. I feel like I can be a little bit more anonymous, here than I can on Facebook. It's really hard to be anonymous on Facebook because unless you just use a totally fake name. And see, the people that I'm friends with are all people I know. I only have 147 friends on Facebook, and the reason is because I don't friend people I don't know. I actually have two, and I'll be honest, I have two people that I friended that I don't know. One's a photographer in Oregon, and the other is an ex-military guy who's pretty interesting. They're both writers, and I met them in a writers group a long time ago, one that I don't even go in anymore. So, but I do like the cat groups. There's several that are really fabulous. If you get a chance on Facebook, Cat Addicts Anonymous, and the other one is Cat and Catio. Anyways, based in the UK. I have to look it up next vlog. I'll give them another shout out. But they're pretty cool. And so the cat blogs I like, But Cat Addicts Anonymous I like the best because they have a mascot. And sometimes they post things that are pretty funny about the mascot. And sometimes people get offended on there, but, the content's good. It's funny. And the people that are on there are actually really, really nice. And it's one of the better groups that I've found on Facebook. And that's one of the reasons why I stay, because I do like the groups. And, some of them are bad. I mean, there's a few that I'm just like, wow, I can't believe you people even know how to type. It's like monkeys, because they're just ignorant. There's just some very, very ignorant people in this world, and I regret that I do know a few of those. And but anyway, thank you, and I'm gonna go make my coffee, and I hope everybody has a great day. Bye bye.